fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you. Don't forget it. When life is...
All right, sorry about that. I didn't even realize that we had lost our connection. That's what we're still trying to figure out what's the best way to do live broadcast. And one of those things, every time I turn around, there's something else that we learn. We use an app called Restream, which allows us to broadcast to multiple areas. I tell you that because I know that there's some people out there that are playing around with this. It works pretty well. We use OBS, and OBS is an application. It's a free application that we use, and we've just configured it to do all of this cool stuff for us, right?
Right.
Try to minimize our cost as much as we can. The one thing we have learned is that if we broadcast directly to YouTube, we get our best quality and our best performance. But there is something to allow us to go ahead and just broadcast all to multiple platforms. This is Facebook, multiple channels, multiple YouTube channels, all of that stuff. It helps get the word out so everybody can find and see all of this. We're back at it. Sorry, we had stepped away for a minute. Now we are back. Thanks, Carrie, for she's up here like just twiddling her fingers.
That's
you know,
right.
waiting on me.
Second scoring end.
Second scoring. Okay. So
second half.
we are back to action. So this has been a quick round because
Fast.
we decided to go ahead and switch it to one line so that we could get through this quickly. This is one of our smaller SYWATs.
It sure is. I was
Still
I was surprised to see a lot of lanes open for this morning when I signed Connor up yesterday.
I don't know what it is. We did have like 7 no-shows this morning, which is interesting. But still, that's still a small crowd. They were like, hey, we want to go one line. I was like, I don't think we'll go to one line. Well, guess what? We were able to barely go to one line. If we had one more person, we would not have been able to do that.
Archers at the halftime moved their targets from top to bottom and bottom to top. So
and that's a good point because even when you're shooting one line, you still at the halfway mark have to move your target. Keep everything fair. This afternoon is this afternoon at 1:30 is a full line.
Good. I'm excited for that.
6 o'clock is going to be will not be a full line. It'll probably be a one line. So if anybody's wanting to come shoot 6 o'clock tonight, that's probably going to be a really good one because we'll be out of here quick.
Okay.
Friday night, I was telling everybody last night, Friday night used to be our smallest group of archers. And so we opened up Friday night just as a option. At first it was, hey, just the very first time we did it, we're like, hey, since we're pretty busy, let's go ahead and see if our youth archers want to shoot Friday night. And so we opened it up to youth. It was a small crowd. Then we opened it up to everybody. Still pretty small. Now Friday night is one of our biggest nights. I mean, it was full.
When we host our 4-H tournaments are either Thursday or Saturday. Thursday night, 6:30 p.m. or Saturday 9 and 1. And our Thursday night line fills up. And I think it's because of other activities happen on Saturday that they don't have the option to move that activity so they can at least shoot their tournaments on Thursday night and still have your whole weekend.
Yep. And I was mentioning there are a few that actually will shoot Friday and then drive somewhere else, like Austin or Dallas, and the smell of a new bow when they show up because everybody's so excited about getting it set up and tuned. And
I know he's been talking about it with his friends. They're like, "Well, it's not here yet." Nope, it's not here yet.
Then it becomes frustrating. It's not the same bow. Like it's a whole routine. It's a whole routine.
We were really hoping to have it here. We ordered it October 9th. We were really hoping to have it here first part of December. That way
Vegas,
we could.
Luckily, you got Vegas. You got extra time.
We do have a little bit of extra time. But we were hoping, that whole month, the first month of owning that bow, you kind of switch back and forth between your old one and your new one, your old one and your new one, because you don't quite trust your new one yet. It's not exactly where you want it. So you shoot your old one for any of the competitions coming up until you get your new one tuned and rolling how you want it to go. But he was really hoping it'd be here in December.
A lot of kids, they'll get those bows and just switch right over to them. But man, there's when you've got kids that are shooting, high numbers, it's a tough transition because it doesn't feel the same. Even though Hoyt to Hoyt. Oh, that camera.
No, we're
camera's
expecting
having
we're
issues.
expecting some changes with this one because the riser is bigger, or it is longer, the limbs are shorter. They went to a different like yoke system, I think, on the concept.
Yep.
So, I think the bow is 4 ounces lighter, even though it's longer axle to axle. So there's going to be some changes.
It'll have a different feel, the different angle of the.
I think the cams are bigger too. So I think the draw cycle is going to be a little bit different too.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks again for joining us. Carrie and I do like doing this.
I love it.
It's a lot of fun. I think you're in Vegas, right? You know what?
We'll be in Vegas.
Maybe I'll bring the podcast stuff and we can do. Wendy won't be there, so we could do a podcast a day.
Oh, okay.
She's like, okay.
We'll be there.
Maybe not a day,
We're
but
going
we
to
could do
shoot
it.
S3DA Thursday, and then Connor's Friday, Saturday.
Okay.
But we'll be there. Plans are to be there through Monday. 'Cause I don't know though. I hadn't bought flights yet.
We bought them. They were $200 round trip. We just bought
Was
them.
Spirit or Southwest?
United.
Are you serious?
$199 is what we just paid.
I'll have to look because when I looked, I don't know. I looked a little bit before Christmas. They were $348. Or something like that.
Right after Christmas, they went down. And I paid $199. Right now they're $197.
Okay.
Round trip for
Well,
United.
then I probably should look into that today.
So they're a little cheaper.
But last year we drove. The year before we flew.
But driving, no thank you.
We will not be driving again. It was my choice. I don't particularly like to fly, so we figured let's drive it and see. And no, we missed S3DA.
S3D is just a good warm up.
It is, but we missed it because we were driving. But this year we're getting on an airplane. I don't know how those rodeo people do it. Can you imagine? Like, we just drove it in our SUV, but I can't imagine hauling hundreds of thousands of dollars in horses and trailers.
Just trailers
up and down
alone.
the mountains the way that we did. I mean, because there's really kind of only one way to get there from here.
Yeah. We're gonna stay
It
a
was an
couple extra
adventure.
days.
And that's what I need to look at because I know when you try to fly home on Sunday or Monday, the flights are usually higher. And it falls into the spring break week.
Yep.
And something else somebody was talking about too. The Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo is happening that week in Houston. And so people are going to fly in to Houston for the big concerts.
It's gonna be crazy.
So the flights are a little higher. Where Vegas moved back a whole month.
Yes.
Used to be the first week in February. Now it's
My
the first
wife
week
is
in
not
March.
happy about that.
We aren't either, I don't think.
I think the location will be okay. We'll figure it. We'll see.
We'll see.
But I think that pushing it a month kind of sucks because I like going in the off
right
season.
between Foley and Minden too, right? I think Foley's like the week before, and then Minden's the week after, or something like that. So the 3D kids are having to switch between the two.
I like that it's Lancaster and them are not on top of each other.
Yes.
But if they just gave a week between, that
Yeah.
would have been nice.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, moving it is.
so we'll see. We'll see how this all goes. We ended up. We always stay a couple extra days and do a little
exploring.
Little exploring. We're gonna do not the crap. What are we gonna do? There's in Zion. There's a hike that you can do that goes through the canyons.
Oh,
And
okay.
so we're going to do that. We've been talking about doing that for years, but you have to rent gear. You have to do
Oh, wow.
all that because it's you got to get rain gear and water gear, and so we're going to be doing all of that. It's spring break. It actually works out well for Ryan because that's the week they're off from school, so that he can stay with us. Last couple of years, he just has to fly, but he flies back, and we stay and have fun
Right.
without him. Again, time is going by fast
sure
on this
is.
morning. Let's take a look here. I'm going to look at the results. We have Rebecca so when you're looking at bow hunter young adult, she's got a 219. Lily's at a 211, and Lily's at a 219. Jack is not shooting. The other Jack is at 205. Let's see, Callista's at 192 right now. Let's see how many ends are left. There's still 3 ends to go. Let's see. Adam Shackelford. Oh, he's dropped 2 points. Where did he drop them? He dropped in the last 2 ends.
Last 2 ends.
Hunter is at 191. Riley is still clean at 250 with 2 ends to go. 5 X's right there. Connor's at 250. 39 X's.
Yeah, that X
he is
count,
not going to be
man.
happy with his X count.
Good thing I signed up for the 130.
Yeah, he's not going to be happy with that.
We might stay for the 6, Scott.
Steve's dropped 2 points. That means Steve will probably stay and shoot another one
Yep.
as well. Jeremy's at 250, 42X. Probably not excited about his X count either. Let's see. Josh is at 202. Angela Atkins is at 137. Angela's been fun to watch. She just showed up one day with her dad this is a couple years ago, just to come and shoot with him. And she's like my age. I mean, I think she's probably younger than me, but she's older. And she shows up with her dad, and then now she's competing. Nisha, I need to go ahead and move her. She wants to shoot again tomorrow at 9 a.m. And then Anna's at 2:15. Anna's shooting really well. That last round she's not going to be happy with, but she's shooting pretty good scores.
Good.
Again, you guys can go see this. You just go to eyesonscore.com. One thing we've added new to Eyes on Score is eliminations, and you guys got to see that in action.
Use that in Houston
at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. But we still have changes that are coming for that. Developers literally sent me a message last night that, hey, what do you want to be priority? Because we have some priorities on the eliminations. I looked at shoot up option. That'll be probably shoot up is probably a year out to be able to do that, because it's basically every time I'm learning on these apps. So every time you do something so we got qualifiers. That's an app. That's like an app. You want eliminations? That's a whole nother program of an app or reprogramming of an app, because you go from one app to another app. Registration, that's an app, and then you have to integrate them. Registration's not integrated because that was low priority on my part, but integration of qualifiers to eliminations it needed to be integrated. So those are integrated. We have some views that I want to change on the website, so we're going to be focused on getting that all clean before we start adding more stuff like a shoot up option, which it will come. It will come, but it's going to take that will take a little time.
There's a picture of Riley Berger shooting a 5-spot at
Good little shooter.
10 yards from Victoria, Texas. She is
She one of your students, or
yes,
is she?
Yeah. She's working real hard for that 300 buckle.
I bet you she is.
She's fun to watch. She's been shooting just a little over a year. A year and 4 months.
Yeah.
I say she's one of my students. She's really one of Connor and Ben's students.
Oh.
We just kind of got her started, and Connor and Ben are her technical advisors.
There you go. Good advisors.
I bring the snacks.
Me too.
I bring all the information. You gotta tell the parents where to sign up, who to sign up, how to sign up,
There you go.
all that stuff. But Connor and Ben are the equipment and equipment and maintenance. We start back at practice Monday for 4-H and our
Okay.
JOAD. Well, our JOAD's kind of been practicing over the holidays here and there.
Where are you guys practicing these days?
We're still at the old STX range.
Oh, okay.
We get to lease it again from January to State 4-H is in March, at the end of March.
Okay.
So we'll be in that facility until the end of March.
Are they going to do something else with it after that?
I think so. I think so.
Then you'll have to find somewhere else.
We're looking. Yes. Yeah.
That's the tough part about, small towns, areas that they just don't have the accommodations that some of
Yep.
like a Houston has.
I want to try to hope. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of There's a lot of buildings,
Yeah.
but the school owns it, or the city owns it, or the county owns it, or so we have to do we have a lot of legwork to do to try to get into a facility.
It does take work.
So,
Or you got to build something.
yeah.
And it's hard because, we have some friends that have built stuff. And then once their kids graduate and move on, what do you do with it?
Yeah,
if
that's
you
it.
don't want to keep it going, because,
Right.
let's just be honest. A lot of us do this because our kids are in it.
Yep.
And we enjoy it.
That's a big conversation we have on the daily at our house is, fine, build a building okay, but in 5 years, Connor will be hopefully at A&M and
Right.
he'll have a facility whenever he wants to shoot. So what am I going to do with this 80-foot building? In
Like
my
this
backyard?
shop, Ryan doesn't, he never comes and shoots here. I
Right.
mean, he's at A&M.
Because he's at A&M, he can shoot there.
Also, it's like he's not coming home. So, and even
Right.
when he comes home on the weekends, he's just like, he's been shooting all week.
He's been shooting all week, yeah. So, yeah, it's a conversation we have almost daily because you've got to keep the kids in shape. You've got to keep your athlete in shape.
We used to shoot a lot outdoors, but we're getting to the weather now
nasty.
where it's just, you just can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's not snowing, but it's just.
No,
it's
wet,
just-
cold wind. The
Yeah.
humidity plays a big part in the arrow flight and strings getting moisture in them. And
So since I see in the background there, it shows, you can see Ava and Cody Johnson.
on
I
our
see
team
Jewel.
wall.
So that's our team wall. And so one thing that we do for kids here is we give them an opportunity to kind of show off who they are. And so they're part of the team. It's like you get a big poster of yourself. Parents do purchase this. We don't just put these up. So we go ahead and we have someone that can put these together. So we create the images for our kids, and it's not really expensive, but we do it, and so they can get them up there. And then at the end of the season, they'll get those, and then we'll do it again next year. We'll do a different design.
I think that's fun.
I think it would be cool. I was telling somebody, I was like, man, if I could have imagined having one of Ryan every year.
Every year,
I mean, I don't know what
yeah.
you do with all of them, but it would be
Right.
kind of cool to see the progression of age as they go.
Yep.
And I think they turned out really good. But I kind of like doing that kind of stuff anyways. So it's
Yeah, I've talked about, and if anybody's listening and wants to take my idea, please do run with it. Even for our 4-H program, here when you shoot a 300 in SYWAT, most shops have a little stamp that
Yep.
says 300 certified or shop certified 300. I want to do something like that on the 4-H level, just to give the kids something to shoot for, and to turn their practice target into a trophy for their room. So I'm working on some stamp, because it's a big deal for those 4-H
Yeah.
kids to even shoot a 250. So I was gonna even do a 250 stamp and a 275 stamp or something like that.
Did you see that? And I know the stamps are cheaper, but I've actually done stickers for this year.
Oh, I did see
So-
that on your post.
so I did a big-
That's a good idea.
Did big stickers. They're just easier. They've been actually easier to hang on to because the stamp disappears. I'm like, where's our stamp? You stamp it upside. People stamp it
Upside
upside down,
yes,
or you
yes.
don't get a good stamp.
Yeah. That's a
and
good idea. I
they're-
did see
They
those.
weren't that expensive. And
Kids like stickers too.
Yeah.
I want
you
to try.
Get
in
a
our-
big old sticker, just slap
Right.
it on there.
4-H doesn't. It's up to the club to incentivize the kids however they want to run their program, and we just hadn't.
You know, I started a pin program for Montgomery County 4-H like 9 years ago.
I thought about doing that
And
too.
they still
Similar
use
to the
that.
JOAD pins.
They
but
still
doing
use that
4-H.
pin system today. So they're all the
Okay.
clovers. I had a company that went ahead and designed. I went ahead and just say, hey, here's what I want. And they designed 9 different pins for me, plus the bronze, silver, and gold.
In gold. Okay.
I made it easier for
right.
them
The
to get.
scoring matrix.
Made
Right.
the metrics easier. So just to keep those kids
I'm gonna have
excited.
to. I'll talk to you after on our break again, because that's something that was brought up with somebody's like, let's do 4-H pins, kind of like JOAD. Okay.
It was pretty easy. I just called the company and said, hey, here's what I want. Here's the colors I want. And they just made it happen.
Okay.
And they had the lanyards. So the lanyards, they made the lanyards for me as well. All right. I think, was that the last score?
It might have
Vince?
been.
That was
Yep,
it.
That was it.
Wow, that was quick. That was quick.
2 hours. No, we started at 9. An hour and 41 minutes with a break.
With a break.
David Allen doesn't mess around down there.
No, he doesn't. But as they go down there and score for the last time,
We did have several 300s, I think. Let's see if Riley got it or not.
let's take a look.
Can you move, Jacqueline? Can you move over to target 9?
She's got it. She gave me a thumbs up.
Yes.
Did she get it?
That little girl. Yes, she got it.
All right, I'm looking too. I was just going to.
We were talking, and I forgot to pay attention to her so she can. I love watching her reactions, and usually on her last arrow, she'll put her bow down and talk to herself, and just compose
That's 5
herself.
X's too.
Compose herself before she shoots. I have a cute video of her shooting her 300 Vegas.
So Riley, 51 X's,
Yay!
really nice.
Look at her! Congratulations, Riley Berger. Connor G got a 300.
47 X's. He's not going to be happy with that.
No, sir.
He's not going to be happy with that.
We will definitely be back at 1:30. And if that one's not pretty,
Yeah.
we'll be back at 6.
So I'm going to go ahead. We're going to go ahead and end it because we want to go ahead and give out our buckles to the archers that earned those buckles. And we will see you guys. I guess we'll be back online. Man, it'll be about 1:30 today.
About
So
1:30.
Thank you guys for joining, and we'll catch you at the next target.